Welcome back to my office. Tonight I have a late night of work ahead of me. I'm currently working on a project for our Georgia region, and a project go live is in about 2 nights, so that's why I'm working late tonight. But let me give you a little background of what I'm doing. So I'm a software consultant in healthcare IT. I work for Kaiser. I am a principal on our ambulatory team across our entire enterprise. So I represent all our regions from Hawaii to Georgia. And this big project that I'm working on for the past year and a half is Epic's module called Compass Rose. It's their coordinated care module. I'm not going to go into too much details about kind of like the ins and outs of like the module, but I just wanted to kind of give a little background of kind of like what I do. But for tonight, I am getting ready for our go live. What I'm working on tonight is our cutover preparations in 2 nights for our technical go live. Operational go live is on Tuesday morning, but we're just trying to plan ahead so then the business team can fly out there and then support them. So rather typically in typical fashion, what we try to do is cut over the night right before kind of like operational go live, but we do have to accommodate some operational needs and operational requests. So that's why we're doing a technical go live ahead of time. And currently, even if we do that, it doesn't impact their operations at this time. It's kind of like a new workflow for them. So nothing that they do like in the system would cause any kind of like downstream effects or any like downstream impact. But for tonight, what I have been prepping for the last couple of days is a patient load. There's about 1,300 patients that we are taking from like a registry outside of our system, outside of our Epic system. And I am prepping files tonight so that I can import them into Epic's Compass Roses module. So for all those, for any of you out there that are used to Epic, there's 2 master files that I'm working with tonight. It is the episode master file, HSB, that's the dynamic one, and LTK are the tasks. So those are the 2 primary master files that I'm working on. And I get the joy of looking at spreadsheets and figuring out how to line up kind of like due dates, tasks, and making sure that they all get imported into the system without any errors. And if there are errors, I have to make sure what do we do with them. So there's a few errors that could happen. I've been testing this out the last couple days. The MRN, we couldn't find like the MRN. Maybe I had the wrong, which I did have the wrong formatting of the file. Let's see, what other is a patient lock. So if there's someone or some system process, or usually a process that's locking up the chart, the system won't allow me to update that. So I have to notate that, maybe try to update them later. And then any other required fields that might have an error, I do have to kind of keep track of. And the 2 processes that I'm kind of working on for the episodes is, first I have to update the episode or import the episode, get a new episode ID, and then use an Epic routine, make sure I build a subset for kind of like the groups of patients, and then get that subset to then export out the episode ID with the MRN, the user, so I know who is kind of like the staff, what we call basically the primary, the responsible staff in this case. And then what I have to do is then take that episode ID, match it up against the raw data, kind of like for those dates, to then import the tasks for each of those episodes. There are, I think, 5 tasks that I have to do. So if you are familiar with the Compass Rose module, there are 3 sets of tasks, 3 sets of primary tasks that I'm updating. We call them a target task, an outreach task, and a checklist task. So that's primarily what I'm doing tonight. It is about almost 9 o'clock Pacific time. I'm just looking over to my left because here in my office I have my door wide open. It is 87 degrees in my office. Earlier it was during the day 98 degrees in my office, so I've just been sweating here in my office. I do have several fans in here, the windows are open, but it is just blazing hot. So that's kind of what I've been doing most of the day today. And plus, the reason why I'm trying to get it done tonight is because I have a slew of meetings in the morning to talk about more Compass Rose related projects other than this one. I am concurrently running 4 projects at the same time. I am the technical lead for our enterprise for Compass Rose. No matter what region you are, I am there to kind of provide guidance, support, recommendations, and to make sure that we run smoothly. So I'm going to basically hit my laptop right now, and typically what I like to do, because this is all just kind of like in my head, just trying to like pound away at the keyboard here, is what I'll do to focus, because I get distracted very easily, is I will put on binaural beats. I don't know if anyone of you have listened to binaural beats. They're kind of like, it's like wavelength frequencies that kind of, it just hums in your ear, but it just really allows me to just focus, because I really just want to get this work done. I think I have maybe a couple hours ahead of me. So once I'm kind of done, I'll let you know how long it took and where I've left off, and see what I have left to do. All right. And just like that, I am all finished up. It is just a little bit after 10 o'clock. I think it took me about like an hour and 20 minutes to complete the rest of the imports that I had to do. I also had to do change management. So we don't just put, our build and changes into our production system, without any kind of like documentation or like testing. So after I did all my imports, I had to kind of prove what I did, document any of the issues that I had, notify my business partners that I've completed all of the imports. They can validate that what I've done was correct. And now I'm gonna be in a little bit of like a waiting game. Here's an update about the work I was doing 2 nights ago, preparing for a go live that I just implemented last night in our Georgia region. I just wanted to kind of give this quick update, just because as I was editing this video, everything that I said, everything was going smoothly. I successfully implemented my patient loads into our kind of like test environments, and I was ready to go. And then on Wednesday, I started to work with my business partner to validate all these changes, and he was telling me, I don't see any of the patient information. I don't see any of the data that you just uploaded. I'm like, what are you talking about? I just spent a good like 6+ hours preparing all of this over the last few days, and I know I successfully uploaded them because I got the results. And of course, I checked our SUP environment. It's an environment that has all the patient data, but it's not connected to anything. It's basically a copy of production. And then I go into our SUP environment and everything is gone. I was very confused. I was scratching my head. I'm like, what is going on? And then my business partner he found like an email that basically noted they had a SUP refresh coincidentally the night of when I successfully did like my patient load. So everything got wiped out, and I was like, oh my God. So all the hours of work that I just did, it got wiped out, and I had to redo it all. So that night, Wednesday night, I had to spend another like 3 hours re-uploading everything. The interfaces were still down, so I couldn't get my build moved over for him to validate like on the front end until like Thursday morning of like our go live. So yeah, no, it was a rush deal, and this just goes to show that the best you can do is plan, but always be ready for things that are unexpected. Luckily, everything turned out fine and great, but I just wanted to give you a quick little update just because I was like, oh my God, I was like, oh crap, I had to do all this over again. So that's all I just really wanted to kind of call out. But other than that, I had a great go live, and everything worked out. Because I've done all my documentation. We use ServiceNow to document our changes. I have to email kind of like my counterpart to kind of check my work, make sure that they sign off, also get the business to validate that, make sure it fulfills their requirements and up to their needs. And then once that's done, I can complete my documentation, send it off for approval, and get it all scheduled for a full production go live, I think Thursday evening, which it also makes it a little bit challenging because this is in the Georgia region. I'm still here in the Bay Area, so we're 3 hours difference. So I can start my changes at 6 p.m. Pacific, and it's 9 p.m. Eastern. Our change window is from 9 p.m. to 5 p.m. depending on where they are in the time zone. So which region that they're in, whatever time zone it is for that region, that's our change window. That's our change window that we can make the changes. So I think that wraps it up for me tonight. I am pretty tired. I'm looking to kind of get ready to go to bed. I need to shower up and start a whole nother day tomorrow, full of meetings, and I think it's expected to also be pretty warm again. So my office is going to be back into the 90s. So I am looking to, see what I can do to make my office a little bit cooler. However, I still have my plants and got my grow lights on 12 hours a day, so that also increases the heat in my office. So I can't make it like too cool. So I appreciate you watching my video, a little bit more behind the scenes of what I do on a day-to-day basis. This is kind of like my day job. And with that, if you like this content, just let me know by hitting the like button. If you want to see more about like what I do in my day job, because this isn't the only project that I'm working on. Been working the last 16 years in the Epic Systems world. So if you'd like to hear more about that, let me know. All right. Thanks for watching. Have a great night, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, take care. All right, bye.